Hey there, Frederick Van Johnson here. Today, I'm exploring how we can use Apple's Shortcuts app along with the SmugMug app to streamline our SmugMug workflows. We'll create two shortcuts today, a simple one and a slightly more advanced one. And by the end, you'll see how adding just a little automation can streamline your SmugMug uploads. If you'd like to follow along with this demo, you'll need to have the SmugMug app installed, of course. And I'm using Darkroom as an example image editing app, but feel free to adjust and use your own software for your particular situation. And lastly, let's make sure we have a SmugMug gallery all set up and ready to receive our uploads. I'm going to go ahead and create one called Shortcuts Demo. So here we are on the iPad. I'm going to go ahead and launch SmugMug. Here we are in my gallery view. I'm going to click the plus in the top right-hand corner and then gallery. And we are going to name our gallery Shortcuts Demo. And we'll leave the rest the same. You can change this if you need to for your workflow, but we're going to leave it just like so. We'll click create. And there we are, our brand new, beautiful, empty gallery that's sitting and waiting. So now we can get out of SmugMug and we'll go in to shortcuts. All right, so we're gonna create our first shortcut here. You'll notice I'm in my SmugMug folder here. If I go back out, you can see there are lots of different categories that I've created shortcuts for, and I created this folder here specifically for our purposes for this demo. You can organize yours the same way. Just create folders and throw all your shortcuts in there. So we're going to create our first one here, and we're going to name this one Simple Shortcut Upload. So we'll click rename at the top of the screen, Simple Shortcut Upload. This is just for our purposes, and you'll see why this name is critical in a little bit here. So now we have our new shortcut all set up and ready to go. The first thing we're gonna have to do is find photos. So on the right, you'll see search actions. I'm gonna find photos from iPhoto. Presumably I'm on an iOS device, or I'm on my iPhone and I'm out and about taking pictures and I want to upload. So let's assume that the photos that we're going to upload have recently been added to our camera roll. All right, so we'll go to Photos. We'll click on Photos here, and we'll see all of the shortcuts that the Photos app has provided to the Shortcuts app for us to play with and create crazy automations with. We're going to use the Find Photos one. So I'm just going to tap Find Photos, and you see that it shows up on the left side here, right? So now that that's here, I can tell it what photos I want it to find. So first I'm going to click on the All Photos little chiclet there and double check what's in there. Yes, that's fine. I want it to search all the photos. And then I'm going to add a filter, because of course we don't want everything, right? We want to add a filter. And I'm going to say I'm going to click on album first, because we want to sort this by media type. For this particular action, we only want photos or images. So we're going to say, let's sort this by media type. And the media type should be image. So far this is plain English, right? So find all the photos where the media type is image. Easy. So now if we skip down to sort by, we want the last image that was added to the queue, right? So I'm going to click the none here, and we're going to sort this by date taken, I think, or last modified. I think date taken should be fine. And we're going to sort it by the latest first. So the latest image, so kind of a double whammy, the latest image, and it's sorting by date taken. And you'll see that last selection there's limit, right? So let's turn that on. It defaults to 5 items if you limit it. If you don't limit it, it's everything, right? We're gonna default to 5. It defaults to 5 in the beginning. For the purposes of this shortcut, we only want 1. So let's hit the plus and minus, or the minus key on the right here, and bring that down to 1 item. Okay, so far we've found the images that we want to have the shortcut do stuff with. Now it's time to do something with them. You can make these shortcuts as involved or as simple as you want. This one is going to be a super simple one, just to give you the basics of how they work. So just like any other photographer, you take the images and then you want to upload them somewhere for some purpose, right? So we're going to do that next. We're going to add Darkroom into the mix here. On the right here, I'm going to search my actions for Darkroom. There it is. I'm going to click on Darkroom, and I can see all of the actions that the Darkroom app has provided to the Shortcuts app for us to automate. See a theme here? Okay, so we're gonna click the second one, edit with Darkroom, and I'm gonna apply a filter to this edit here. So we're going to pick a filter. This could be one of your filters. This could be one of their filters. These are their filters. So I'm gonna apply A110 to the photos, and I'm gonna let it use Darkroom. Now to the right there, to the right of Darkroom, you'll see that little right facing bracket. I'll click on that, and that shows me all the things that this particular action can do to the photos that were passed to it. I can alter the filter intensity, can change the aspect ratio, add a watermark, all the things. The one that we're concerned with for this particular workflow is the show and run. Show and run at the bottom there, what that does is, if that's toggled on, like it is, it will, at the end of this step, tell you and pause that, hey, I edited these photos, do you want me to continue? We don't want that. We want it just to press on and get everything, or process all of the photos that were passed to it and not pause for any sort of interaction. So now that we have grabbed our images, we've edited our images, now it's time to upload said images. And how do we do that? Well, back to the Shortcuts app again. In the right, we're gonna search for our old friend SmugMug. So there it is, there's Smuggy right there. I'll click on that one, and it shows me all of the actions that the SmugMug app has made available to me. For this one, I just want to add it to the upload queue. Here we go. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen there, it says it's going to take the photos that were edited by the previous step, the edited files, and it's going to add them somewhere. It defaults to gallery, which is dimmed out, which means it's waiting for me to tell it which gallery we're going to choose. You guessed it. We're going to click gallery, and we have our Shortcuts demo right at the top of the list here. So we'll click that, and now we have Shortcuts demo. So we could run this shortcut right now, and it will take the last image from the camera roll and throw it in Shortcuts demo with the edits from Darkroom applied, which is pretty magical. But we want to go one step further with this. Once that's done, I want some sort of verification that the image has in fact been uploaded. So I need to add another action for that. So luckily, SmugMug has at the bottom there, open upload queue. I'm gonna click on that. So at the end of this process, once it's uploaded, it's gonna open the SmugMug app and put it on the screen where the upload queue is, so I can verify that those images have in fact been uploaded to where they need to go, right? And that's it. So let's go ahead and take a picture first. So let's go back to the iPad here, and we are going to launch our camera app. And look, I happen to have a subject waiting for me to photograph him. All right, so we'll take a photo of our little friend here. All right, we have a new photo on our camera roll now. So now that that's done, we can go back into Shortcuts. And if all is well, and if we've done everything correctly, that little stuffed animal will show up in our SmugMug gallery, fingers crossed. So I'm gonna click the play button at the top of the screen, and you can see it walks through the flow and ends up on the last step, which was show the queue. And there we are, our image is now on SmugMug. I can click continue browsing, I can scroll down, find my gallery, Shortcuts demo, and there's our shot, just like that. Isn't that amazing? So one thing to take away from this is, in a few short steps, I was able to create an automated workflow that took an image, and I could have made it a series of images, but we took one image, we added edits to it. Those edits could be seriously involved if we wanted them to be, in terms of the editing preset adds to them. We can overlay images on top of them. We can add watermarks. We can do all manner of things. Just take a look at all the actions that ship with Shortcuts that let you manipulate images and audio and text and all the things. You can build incredibly detailed shortcuts to do any manner of things that you want to do with your computer. We're just scratching the surface here with this particular edit. Now that we've built our first shortcut, let's get a little bit more involved with the second one. We're going to create one that's slightly more complicated. So let's head back over to the iPad here, go back into Shortcuts, and let's go out of this one. We now have our simple shortcut upload all set and ready to go. We're gonna click the plus button again and make another one. But this time we are going to call this one Smart SmugMug Upload. Okay, so we'll click the new shortcut at the top, which is the title of this guy, and we're gonna call it Smart SmugMug Upload. There we go. And then the first action that we'll add to this one, whereas in the previous shortcut, the first action was just finding the photos, sorting them into, you know, the order where we could find the last image and then do stuff with that one. This one, we're gonna let the user, what's the word I'm looking for? Discontiguously pick images to upload from their photo roll. So you can imagine a scenario where you want to upload various shots. You've been out shooting all day and you want to pick and choose the ones that you want to upload to SmugMug, and you may or may not want to add any sort of processing in the flow. That's your choice, or create multiple flows, one that does processing, one that doesn't. It's magic, right? So we'll dive back in here and we're going to add a select photos action to choose our photos. So I'm going to go back into search actions. I'm going to click photos. Here we go. Oops. Here we go. Let's clear that. There we go. Photos. And this time we're going to select photos. Okay, here we go. Select photos. Select photos on the right down there at the bottom. And for select photos, we're going to go through and we're going to not include all. We only want to include, so in the right there, this is what I clicked. See the all there in blue on the right? I'm going to click that and deselect live photos and deselect videos. This time I just want images. And on the left here, I'm going to click done. On the left here, I'll toggle that on so that I can select multiple discontiguously, right? Okay, so now we've got our images selected, and now we want to, let's go back into images again just to make sure. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so now we want to edit with Darkroom. Let's make the assumption that we want to edit these photos with some other app. And again, this is optional, right? You may just want to take the images and you've edited them already with some other app and they're sitting on the photo roll and you just want to put them in a particular gallery on SmugMug. Well, you could do that by just skipping this step, but we're going to go in here and go Darkroom again. Okay. And we're going to edit with Darkroom. Same thing. We're going to apply a filter. Let's say B100 this time. And we're gonna leave everything the same. We're gonna turn off show when run. And just like last time, we're gonna add these photos to our SmugMug upload queue. So let's find that, here we go, add to upload queue. This time, instead of just, let's get that out of there. So this time, instead of just clicking on the action on the right side, I'm gonna click and drag it just to show you that this interface is interactive, right? So I'm going to click and drag this guy with my finger over here and put it in place. And it automatically finds the edited files that it's going to upload from the previous step. And now it just needs to know where it wants to put those. I'm going to put those in shortcuts demo again. But this time, let's have a little fun with this. So we know that we have our photos. We know that we can edit them and upload them. But I want some feedback. You know, say I'm out and about and I have a bunch of photos that are uploading. I want to know when they've made it up there. So what I'm going to do here is on the right, I'm going to search for a text block. So just like text, there it is. And I'm going to click it and add it. And I'm going to say something like, hey, Frederick, your amazing photos are safely, you know, or let's say have been safely uploaded to SmugMug. Boom. Okay, so now we have a text block. This could say anything, obviously, or nothing at all. You may just leave this step out. But we want that, and we want this feedback, or we want our phone device or iPad or whatever to speak this to us once that upload is completed. So it's not just going to speak it by having a text block there. You have to give it the text and then give it tell it what you want it to do with said text. In this case, I want it to speak. So just type speak, and there we go. There's another action that says speak text, and it's going to take the variable, which is text, from the previous action and speak it. Let's open that up and see if there are any settings that we can change in there. And there are. So wait till finished. Yes, we want it to wait till finished. We can change the rate and the pitch of the voice, and we can change the language and pick various voices for our action to use, which is kind of amazing, especially with the upcoming iOS 18.1. Oh my God, it works really, really well. And the voices are amazing, as you'll hear in just a second here. So we've got our speak text. Let's just run through this real quick. So we've selected photos, we've edited the photos, we've uploaded the photos, we've spoken to text that your photos are ready to be uploaded. The last thing is we want to see that queue. So we want a visual of visual verification that our images have been uploaded. So SmugMug, and then let's scroll down and open upload queue. That's it. Okay, so let's see what we see. We're gonna debug this and run it. Should work fine. So I'll click play, and now it's giving me dialog box that I can pick the images that I want to upload to SmugMug from. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one. I'm gonna pick that one. I'm gonna pick that one. Let's not pick that one. Let's go with the yellow theme. Okay, so that one. And okay, you know, the world would not be round without cats. Okay, here we go. All right, so we've picked our images. Now at the upper right, you can see add. I'm just gonna click add. Now it's running. It's gone all the way through.
Your amazing photos have been safely uploaded to SmugMug.
Look at that. It's uploaded the images, it spoke and told me what it did, and it's showing me the queue, like what it recently did. So I'm gonna click continue browsing, and you can see that because, let's go into Shortcuts demo here. So these are the new images, and you can see that preset, the black and white preset that I chose, was in fact applied to these images. Now that is pretty dang cool. So just imagine the possibilities of what you can build. These are just, I just had like 4 or 5 steps in this one quick workflow that I'm playing with and explaining at the same time that I'm building it. Imagine if you put some real thought into these things. You can have these shortcuts doing all kinds of things and saying things and uploading to friends. And I built a shortcut, which I'm gonna make available to you actually, that once you take photos and select a bunch of photos, you can press one button and it will send those photos to SmugMug, and then also text them to all of your friends that you've specified in the shortcut, which is amazing, right? So possibilities are endless and the mind boggles. But now, what's next, right? So who wants to go into the Shortcuts app every time you want to run one of these, right? So right now, let's go back to Shortcuts. You can see this. So the play button in the upper right is where we run it while we're doing our debugging, right? So if we're not in a debugging state, we can just go to here. And like I told you before, I created this folder inside of Shortcuts called SmugMug. And within that, these are the 2 apps or the 2 shortcuts that we built today, right? So we've got our smart SmugMug upload and our simple shortcut upload. I can run these from here by simply tapping on them, which is great, right? But who wants to open another app and then click something and do all that, right? That's, you know, that's a little bit much. So instead, what we'll do is, this is just to demonstrate, I'm going to click in the 3 dots on our simple shortcut upload here and bring us back into edit view for this particular shortcut. And over on the right at the top here, you can see there's a highlighted box with blue on it. That's showing us that these are all the actions, right? That's the actions list or folder. But to the right, there's an eye. If we click on that eye, now we have options of where we want this thing to show up. From here, we can just click add to home screen and it will add it to the home screen. I can toggle on show in share sheet and it will show, you know, the little box with the upward facing arrow when you share something in iOS, it'll show in there so that you can use any app that's using share sheets to reference your particular shortcut. And you can show it on the Apple Watch also if it's a shortcut that makes sense to use on the Apple Watch. Like I have some set up to control my car. I can just click a button and have things happen. Or you can pin it to the menu bar, have the thing receive what's on screen at the time, or use it as a quick action. So if you right click on something, it'll show up in the quick actions menu and you can have things happen at that point. And that's it. You've just simplified your SmugMug upload process. Now, these shortcuts can really streamline your workflow and allow you to focus more on things like business and less on the repetitive tasks that bog us down every day. Okay, so if you haven't done so already, go ahead and download the SmugMug app and possibly the Darkroom app if you want to kind of do the things that I did, or use the shortcuts that I'm providing to you. You'll need that app installed. But the most important thing of all is to start experimenting and start taking shortcuts. See you later.